Well, red, white, and blue, these colors don't run, and you better not run anywhere, because on Palmetto Sports Daily today, we have lots to discuss, and that begins with the talk of our great country, the United States, winning a knockout round for the first time since 2002 last night against Bosnia and Herzegovina. I'm Ella Grogan, joined by Rick, Kevin, and Jill across the upstate here, or not the upstate, across South Carolina, all together here, bringing you some sports talk. And we have to start with our great country, the United States. They played an epic game last night against Bosnia and Herzegovina in the round of 32. They got an early goal. Flo knocked one in right before the end of the first half. Celebrations here in the upstate were absolutely epic. I was at a watch party and those guys were loving it. And then in the second half, Flo got a red card, and it was a very controversial red card, I might add. In my opinion, I played soccer my entire life. If you are given a red card, it is for malintent and you were actively trying to hurt someone. Flo did not do that in that situation in my eyes. Now, we heard from head coach Mauricio Pochettino. We'll get to what he said in a second, but first I want to ask you guys, when you saw that red card and the move that he made, do you think that that was deserving of a red card? I mean, I don't want to bring it up, but Messi did this about 2 games ago. There's a side-by-side of Flo and Messi. They did the exact same move, and Messi didn't even receive a yellow card. So just putting that out there, Jill, I'll start with you. What do you think?
I agree that it would have to be of ill intent and you're actively trying to hurt someone. I don't think this deserved a red card by any means. What I am more impressed by is how the U.S. responded after the red card. It could have went completely sideways and haywire, but they kind of doubled down and used it as a motivator, if you will. U.S. teams in the past, I think, might have crumbled, but they used this to their advantage and obviously walked away with a 2-0 win. But I do agree, if you're going to call it a red card, you're going to have to call it the same way across the board. But when you have so many different officials, different games, it's not going to be that way. But a red card does seem a little bit egregious. Rick, I'm curious what your thoughts are.
I wasn't watching the game at that moment when he got the red card, but then this morning, looking at some of the national shows and seeing that moment frozen, and I go, wait a minute. And they gave him a red card for that. And Messi, he doesn't even receive like a slap on the wrist. And that goes to show you the legendary players, the really superstar players, they get the benefit of calls or no calls, an egregious call. And if the U.S. winds up losing their match against Belgium, everyone will point to this call as one that just changed the whole momentum and the flavor of the tournament for the Americans.
Look, you guys are looking at this through red, white, and blue glasses, and I understand that. I respect that. But not only was the red card warranted, he shouldn't be allowed to play in the rest of the tournament. That's how egregious this foul was. USA is lucky they're allowed to still be playing in this tournament after that kind of disgusting move on his part. Luckily, they get to advance to another round. They're not going to just pull the whole team out because of one egregious move, but a disgusting play, I thought.
I really hope that's satire. Are you joking?
No, I thought it was an awful move. I didn't think Messi's play was anywhere close to it, which is why Messi didn't get a card and Flo is out of the game.
Well, that is certainly a take that I disagree with. I think that he was trying to get around him, and it was an accidental step. If you look at the photo of Messi, he's holding the back of the guy's jersey while stomping on him. It was very violent. This was completely unintentional,
Allegedly.
in my opinion. In my opinion, and I do believe the head coach of the U.S. men's national team, Mauricio Pochettino, did agree with me last night. He spoke about that in his press conference. He completely believed that that was an unwarranted red card. Rick, before we toss to this sound from Mauricio, just your thoughts on Kevin's decision to stand against the United States of America.
Are you referring to Kevin Redcoat Billadou? Kevin, are you going to England for the 4th of July weekend? I just don't know what's gotten into you. We all saw what happened. It was one of the worst calls in the history of sport. And you, my friend, turning your back on your country here on Palmetto Sports Daily. It's just disgraceful.
Look, I'm sorry if someone here has to stand for actual truth and stand for what the rules mean coming into this amazing sport that I love so much. If you guys want to ignore that, that's up to you just because it's your team. I would rather see the rules be upheld in this honorable sport.
I don't even know what to say. I'm honestly going back after you said that. I'm on TikTok trying to rewatch it to see if you're seeing something that I didn't. And I still stand on my opinion. It seems as if they were both trying to box out and go for the ball. I don't really think that there's any red card from what I'm seeing in this.
Kevin, there's no excuse for this.
Absolute.
Only if someone is there holding you at gunpoint and holding your family hostage. This is just totally unacceptable, Kevin Bilodeau.
I think this is absolutely ridiculous. I'd like everyone to look at this side-by-side image. This is the exact same maneuver that Messi is pulling. It might be worse. I'm a Messi fan, but this is the same thing. I think this is a ridiculous argument. Okay. This is just absolutely absurd, and I think we need to hear from Coach about his thoughts on this matter. And Jill, he said exactly what you said. He talked about the positive side of this situation and how much his team rallied behind Flo and played this game for him.
After the red card of Balo, I seen we were talking in the cooling break, I think was weather break, about that now we need to show that we are a team, that we are united, and that was the moment to show to everyone and to show ourselves that it's not only empty words when we say that we are a family. And I think the team showed the qualities, the capacity to compete, to fight for each other. Yes, I think so proud about the players. They are the heroes. They are the principal actor, and they deserve all the credit.
Well, credit was definitely deserved there, playing with just 10 men on the field for the remainder of that game, and they still managed to put another goal in the back of the net. Malik Tillman had a ridiculous just curve shot to get that one in there. I mean, the probability of that ball going into the back of the net is just ridiculous what he did there. So great finish for the United States. They move on to face Belgium on Monday. So got to take down the Waffles at 8 o'clock then, and we will keep bringing you more on that game. But we also have to talk about the Atlanta Braves, speaking of our United States pride, or rather our Georgia pride. Jill, I know you've been a little heated on this subject of the Atlanta Braves performance, but they did have a win. They started July on the right foot after a terrible June month. Just what did you think of that game last night?
It was a glimpse of what this team started out as. Obviously, the month of June did not go their way, to put it nicely, if you will. They finally got some production at the plate going in last night's game, tying up this series, a chance to take it tonight. If they lose tonight, this would be their third straight series loss, which we don't want what happened in June to now roll into July, but we saw some glimpses of what we saw at the beginning of the season. But it was also great production on the mound from Ronaldo Lopez. Came up absolutely massive for them, only allowing 2 hits and 1 run, so making sure that he's doing his job. And at the plate, they backed him up. In the past, we've been seeing a lot of production on the mound, but the offense isn't backing up the defense, and we saw that kind of flip and how it's helping Atlanta in this way. And if they keep rolling, this is a good sign for them.
Yeah, it was good to see them put up 5 runs, give up only 1, and so now if they can go ahead and avoid losing another series, and you got the New York Mets coming in, great potential there to sweep that series, help them regain some momentum, and keep that cushion between them and Philadelphia. All right, that's going to wrap up this opening segment of Palmetto Sports Daily. We have much more. We'll see you on the other side. Welcome back to Palmetto Sports Daily. We've been following this story with former Gamecock quarterback Steven Garcia. He's been diagnosed with stage 4 colorectal cancer. He's undergoing treatments in his hometown of Tampa, Florida. And I talked to him last week, and yes, it's a tough journey for him, but everything is going pretty well. We've got some pictures of him right there. Still able to smile, as he's undergoing these treatments and talking about it. And he and his wife have started the Quarterback Your Health Foundation. They're holding a fundraising gala August 21st in Tampa. One of the goals is to improve access to preventive screenings. The guest speakers will include Steve Spurrier, his former USC coach, John Gruden, and former Gamecock players. And Steven says it's a blessing to have the support of his former teammates during this time.
But the best part about it, to be honest, Rick, is that like Melvin, Alshon, Bruce, Ace Sanders, Wesley, DeMarco, I mean, all these guys, Kyle Nunn, Hutch Eckerson, I mean, I can't, the list goes on and on, but these guys hit me up constantly. It wasn't just when it first happened, and they first found out the news. They check in, once a week, once every other week. I mean, and they don't want to talk about it, and which I'm, I like. It's like, man, I don't want to talk about it either. Let's talk about how are you doing.
Steven says he's going to be taking a 10-day break from his treatments. He's just going to get away with his family, and he's also looking forward to the start of a new football season for the Gamecocks. And right now we're going to talk about the Nike deal for South Carolina. The Nike era was launched yesterday. Fans flocking the stores to pick up some of the gear. Now, USC was an Under Armour school for 19 years. They have a 10-year deal with Nike worth close to $80 million. And 5 USC athletes are part of Nike's Blue Ribbon Elite NIL roster. Basketball's Joyce Edwards and Chloe Kitts. You see them there modeling some of that Nike gear. Also, football's Lenore Sellers, Nick Harbor, and Dylan Stewart. The partnership with Nike will help them build their personal brands. And there's also some debate on the internet. Did Nike get the garnet color right? Well, we're going to hear from USC Athletics Director Jeremiah Donati about that, the opportunity for the student athletes and the whole color controversy.
I'm really excited for Chloe and Joyce and Dylan and Nick and Lenoris. What a perfect group. I mean, outstanding individuals on and off the court and field, but just great people and great representatives of our brand and, of course, of Nike's brand now. And so was really excited to collaborate with Nike on them. These were 5 student athletes that kind of jumped off the page at you that we wanted to lead with, and they wanted to lead with. So you're going to be seeing their faces a lot more with the swoosh next to it.
Did they get the color garnet right? I know that's been a big concern to the fans.
Yeah, so it's a bright garnet. We're really excited about it. Garnet's a funny color. Like every school kind of has this challenge, which is it shows up differently on different, whether it's on paint on a wall or on a piece of paper or on a shirt. And so we're really excited about. We think it's a clean, fresh look. We're not changing our colors. There's always going to be, it may look different on this piece of apparel or that, but no, we're garnet true and true to our garnet and black colors.
When the Gamecocks joined the SEC in the 1991-92 academic year, there was some discussion then because garnet, it was kind of close to the colors of Mississippi State, Arkansas, Georgia is red. You've got Alabama. So what do you folks think? Is the garnet close to being accurate? Kevin?
Rick, all we've been hearing all week is how excited everyone in Columbia and around South Carolina has been for this Nike deal. You know who never got the color wrong? Under Armour. In 19 years, there was never any problem with the garnet color when Under Armour was there. Now all of a sudden, Nike comes in, takes over this deal, and we're going back and forth. Did they get the color right? Is the color off center, off color? What are we going to do? They should have just stuck with Under Armour. That's what this comes down to right now.
I mean, I personally just don't really have a lot of thoughts towards this matter. It's not like they printed the shirts blue. Who cares? I mean, this is the same color. Who cares? Like, I can't really talk about it. I've been looking at photos on Twitter for the last 5 minutes, and I can't understand why a few shades really matters all of that much. I mean, there's 30, 40 college teams that have the color red. You can't be nitpicky. Jill, what do you think about this?
I think people are just looking for something to complain about, especially teams within the SEC that have a similar color scheme. They're trying to now pinpoint being that's too close to our color. Obviously, if you're with the same brand for close to 20 years, it's going to look the same over those close to 20 years, and then you switch to a new brand, people are going to look and be like, oh, did they print this right? And if it's slightly off, someone's going to find something to complain about. So it looks the same to me. I don't see a difference, if I'm being honest. Rick?
Oh, yeah. There are plenty of complaints about Under Armour, including the garnet, but a lot of those complaints about Under Armour was because it was Under Armour. It wasn't Nike. Personally, I don't care what color it is. Just win some games. If you win games, you can wear some 1950s throwbacks as far as I'm concerned. Just go out and win. All right, that's going to do it for this segment. We'll be right back after a quick timeout.
Welcome back into what is a holiday weekend coming up here on Palmetto Sports Daily, and I'm not even talking about the 4th of July. I'm talking about what's going on up at Madison Square Garden this weekend, maybe as soon as tonight, according to some rumors, and that is the fairy tale wedding of one Travis Kelce with Miss Taylor Swift. And everything around New York, around Madison Square Garden, has been essentially shut off for the next couple of days. Everything's been blocked off. No one can get anywhere near Madison Square Garden, according to reports, as everything has been shut down by local police. And it is, according to some rumors, that wedding is set to happen tonight on Thursday. It could be happening tomorrow or at some point later this weekend. We don't really know what's going to happen, if it's just going to be a simple wedding ceremony. I mean, they're two simple kids, so that's what I'm guessing, just in and out in 10 minutes out of MSG. It could be some kind of huge production from what we're seeing being brought into MSG. The thing I'm most excited about is to hear the opinion of one Rick Henry, who, as we have cemented on this show several times, just hates love in pretty much all shapes and forms. So Rick, as the closest thing we have to a royal wedding in the United States gets set to happen this weekend, how excited are you?
What are we doing here? What are we doing? 4th of July weekend, we're talking about Taylor Swift and Travis Kelce getting married in New York. Please save us. Isn't it enough that during football season, when she's at a Kansas City Chiefs game, they keep cutting to her in the stands? And then in the NBA playoffs, wasn't she at a Cleveland Cavaliers playoff game wearing a Cavaliers jersey? Then they're eliminated. She shows up in Madison Square Garden wearing a Knicks jersey, jumping up and down like she's been a Knicks fan all her life. And now she wants to come back to New York, create chaos. They're going to have to block off streets, put extra police out there to protect the citizens of New York because is so selfish to come and get married in New York. She's got enough money to rent a private island, go out there, be by yourselves, because a lot of people share my opinion. We don't care.
Rick, I wanted to point out there is a report from the Associated Press today that Taylor and Travis have donated $26 million to local New York charities and some other charities they're a fan of in honor of their wedding. So basically, among those charities are food banks for children. So why do you hate feeding hungry kids?
I don't hate the hungry kids. That's good. They should be donating, even more money than that, really. Because still, they're just going to disrupt a holiday weekend in New York. Why don't they get married out in Kansas City, where there's less things to disrupt? Maybe, I don't know, interrupt some cattle stampedes or something?
I don't even know that I should be a part of this conversation between the two of you right now. However, as a girl, a current maid of honor of my sister's wedding that we've been planning right now, I just can't imagine wanting to get married at Madison Square Garden. My sister's fiance has a home that's like 7 doors down from Taylor Swift's house in Rhode Island. It's the most beautiful place I've ever seen. Like, I don't know why she wouldn't want to get married somewhere like that, especially after seeing her engagement photos where she was in this like beautiful garden and now she wants to get married in a fake garden at a basketball. I don't really get it. I just think it's a little weird. Knowing Taylor Swift from my sister, who's a big Swiftie, I know she's big about the illusions. If I were to guess, I don't think she's actually probably getting married there. She's either A, already married and no one knows, or she's just using this as like a distractor, in my opinion. Jill, what do you think of the matter?
Being from New York, being in New York City multiple times in the summer, I have no issue with her getting married in New York City. It's just so hot. So I don't know why she would want it. No one's there in the summer because it's so hot and humid and gross. But that's just a completely different story. But we got to take a quick break, and we'll be right back here on Palmetto Sports Daily. Welcome back to Palmetto Sports Daily. Our final thoughts is I want to wish Taylor and Travis just a very happily ever after. That is all we have for this episode on Palmetto Sports Daily. Thank you so much for listening.